What does it mean that you kind of matched the huge occasion with a really, really good performance as well?
Yeah, just class. But I knew that would happen. I knew that we've got that in us as a team. I think there was a lot of noise about obviously the disappointment last week. But for me, inside I was like, I know this group. We learn, we reflect, we pull together. So I had all the confidence going into this game. And I think we showed that with a full performance. And like you said, a good result in front of 38,500 people is insane.
You've made it pretty clear that you understand sort of what the derby's all about. So having come out of it with the double over Sunderland, how does that feel?
Hard not to swear, but excellent. I think we've got our aims for this season, and this puts us in the right place for that. But I know exactly what it means. Just unbelievable. My uncle, he did pass away, but he didn't have anything red in his house, not even ketchup. So I know exactly what it means. And for today, to make North East black and white, loud and proud, is honestly surreal. And thanks to everyone involved in it.
Amber, anything like that, you had a lot of possession, some moments at different times, but how do you combat frustration when you've got the possession and you're struggling to have that real clear-cut chance?
Just be patient with it. We wanted to dominate the game, and we did. And it's just keeping our emotions in check, keeping together, knowing and trusting that the goal will come. And I think today we did that. I think it was calm everywhere, which I think sometimes in football that can tip you over the edge one way or another. But today just honestly felt it. I think the whole group did. And hopefully all the stands did, all the fans did. But just be patient with it. And we know we've got clinical players for Shan to come on and put away a banger like that. Not surprised, but buzzing for her. And I think everyone hit top speed for the celebrations. What a moment.
And is it actually sort of testament to your squad quality and squad depth that you can have a player like that come on off the bench and score the winner?
We're a really competitive group. Like, to have a player like that on the bench, full stop. But I think we're always pushing each other and always pushing for it. I said to Shan before the game, I was like,
hello.
Come on, score a banger, will you? Not taking credit, because she'll do that whether someone says it or not. But yeah, I think we fully are a squad together, and I think the quality we've got on the bench is mad. So it's great to have that on. Like, we make changes in the game. We just know we're getting after it. But again, just full performance, and like, even those that didn't get on, really tough day for them, but everyone was together, and you could feel that in the change room after, or even before the game. People that have been injured, had a tough season, just everyone was up for it.
Can you summarise how it felt walking out this Newcastle captain today from that crowd in this game?
It would be hard to put it in words. All morning I was a bit like, I don't get emotional. I think, honestly, I was holding back the tears. Demi Stokes, a very experienced player, and I said to her when I got here, I said, Demi, how do you keep your emotions in check for big games? She was like, you feeling emotional? And I was like, yeah. She was like, and then I was literally like, can't talk about it, sorry. But that is the best day of my career, I'd say, of my life. Honestly, like, not just saying it, it's hard to put into words, and to be the person to lead the team out is such a privilege. And hard to put in words, but unreal.
And then at the end, you sort of seem to just go to the Melbourne stand, like, scream with joy. Can you sum that moment up?
Yeah, I don't remember that. Someone did say to me, if you score, how are you going to celebrate? I was like, blackout? I don't know. Didn't get the score, but got the win. Yeah. And honestly, I think I properly gave it the big one at the end. Someone was trying to speak to me. I was thinking, I can't see you. I can see dots. But yeah, it's mad. Someone said to me after, Mark Callan did, he said, I was watching you and the final whistle went. I was like, I know, Mark, and he's quite reserved. He's like, you went mental? I was like, yeah, I know. So yeah, just unbelievable to have that whistle. But again, I just knew it was going to happen. And yeah, I don't think I felt emotions like that. I genuinely blacked out. But 3 points, good performance. And to do it with everyone here is just insane.
Quite the week for the men and the women then.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of noise about the men and continuing that and things. I think as well, like, I think there was some like comments and stuff about, it doesn't matter if they've won the cup and stuff. But I know Newcastle, and if you understand football in Newcastle, it does matter, and it's massive. And we take the confidence from the men's team because they put a performance in that we were watching, and we were like, we obviously didn't mean to, but took our foot off in that togetherness or that proper drive in the Durham game. So we were like, this game is like, the men's game is exactly what it means to play for Newcastle in black and white. So we did take it, we used it, and we got the result for it.
Congratulations, Amber. The last captain of Newcastle United to do the double over Sunderland was a man called Alan Shearer. You might have heard of him. To be in that sort of company must be incredibly proud. And how does it actually feel to be the captain of this team? Because it's an incredible bunch of players.
It's like those. I honestly still have moments. My second season here, as well as captain, like I have moments where I'll just be like driving around the northeast, or taking the dogs on a walk, and I'm like, I'm actually captain in Newcastle. And honestly, it's like the best thing in my existence. I love my family, but they're Geordies, so they'll agree with me. And to hear like that, like you said, the last captain to get the double over Sunderland, Alan Shearer is absolutely my childhood hero. And Alan Shearer is probably the reason that I play for is the reason that I play for Newcastle. Not only because I grew up as a fan of his, but he actually helped me get in contact with Becky. So shout out to him. And now, again, like you said, to be a captain that's done that is class, but it's just the team. Like, just having the full faith in the team. Again, I didn't doubt for a second we would be coming out the better side. And we have, and just, I don't want to say class or unreal or incredible or all that again, or insane, but they're the substitutes for effing brilliant.
You mentioned Becky there. Obviously, there was a moment towards the end when she was unfortunately sent off. Will there be a little bit of banter, a few jokes aside, maybe later in the week, or do you think it'll be straight away from the girls, considering obviously she does set incredibly high standards? I'm sure even though there's so much emotion in terms of a fantastic win, she'll be thinking, I just wish I didn't do that.
It's all part of the game, isn't it? If you ask me if we'd rather someone on the pitch or on the bench get sent off, I know my answer. So that's what we'll stick to, and got to suss out the vibe before any banter goes about. But I just know the main thing is we got the 3 points and everyone was fully invested, and you can tell that. Becky's put me in this big seat. So just, I know, we all know how much Becky cares. I think she literally drives our team, creates the environment for everyone. Maybe today showed that. And just, again, she's gutted she can't be here. But she's probably buzzing with the result.
And just finally from me, the title running is still there for Newcastle with obviously a few games to go. How much inner belief is there in the squad that something could happen, something big could happen between now and the end of the season?
I think if that belief wasn't there, we wouldn't be Newcastle. And I think if that belief wasn't there, what's the point of the games and everything like that? So we just push on, stay grounded, don't get ahead of ourselves. But like you said, we're in the mix. Very unpredictable league, and we just want to put our best foot forward, and I think we'll do that.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Just the one. You said Alan Shearer's a hero, but you've got Keegan in there, so he must have been one of the heroes as well, or families. But just the mental side of the game, to lose to Durham, but then see the men win, and knowing you are playing Sunderland, did that kind of drive you on during the week?
It did, but I know, being here and we had a loss last year. Obviously, we lost the cup final. But I think that spurred us on to win the league early and in the fashion we did. And I genuinely believe that. Like, if we didn't win that cup final, maybe we slip up somewhere else and would have been like a last game of the season kind of win. But again, I just know that we reflect, we learn. So, whatever would have happened in the week, we would have been up for this. It's just extra special that the men smashed it and put the performance in for us to get that boost. Just class, Amber-Keegan, Kevin Keegan, cheers, Dad.
Obviously, Amber, you mentioned how much this means to you and the team, but how much do you think it'll mean to the thousands of young boys and girls in the crowd today that have been able to come see Newcastle United Women, beat Sunderland at St James's?
Yeah, mad. Mean a lot, make a big difference, especially to show the young girls and boys, but obviously just history shows there wasn't that much opportunity for young girls growing up, and today even driving up, I don't know what happened to me, I put Blade and Race on as soon as I left my house in the car, and I was literally tearing up, and I was like, I'm gonna have to change this song. But I listened to the whole song, and then I thought, right, try not to add any more emotions to you. And then got to drive in, like I purposely went there, Scotswood Bridge way, and then I got to drive in up the boulevard, and I stopped at the lights, and I was just like, I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I am. I just rolled down my window and saw a family of four, like the mum, dad and two daughters, and I just like turned my music down, rolled down the window, and I was like, they were in black and white, they had scarves, and I was like, are you going to the game? They were like, yeah. And then they were like, oh, hi. And I was like, class. And then the lights didn't change, and I was like, well, I've done that. But just soaking it all in, to be fair, and it is about enjoying it with our fans. And I think the good thing about our squad, the good thing about women's football, it's very, there's a lot more like contact time with the fans, and it's easier to interact with them and show them that we really appreciate them. So even that little moment, as soon as I did my window up, the lights didn't change, and I was like, oh, there's another tear. But honestly, just seeing black and white shirts and knowing what this means for the future of women's football, especially in the North East, I think it'll be a while till that record's broken, but we'll give it a good go next year. And yeah, just amazing for what it means for everyone.
And with you, as everyone said, it's been a massive week for the club. You've got you captaining the women's team, you have someone like Bruno captaining the men's team. How much important is it for leaders like yourself and Bruno and all that to be around the club at this point, the whole journey, the whole club get that journey to what they hope is success for both men's and women's team? Yeah,
it's important. It's a privilege. I think I did have like a inner Bruno moment at the end, like I said, when I gave it the big one. But it's just really hard not to feel everything when you have moments like this, and maybe that's part of kind of why we're in the positions we are, I suppose, because I think we have really good leadership groups, really good leaders across both groups, and I think being that one club and knowing exactly what it means and having our values and everything like that, it just pushes us on. But yeah, it's just a massive group, massive quality club to be part of, so I think just got to soak it all in today.
Hi, congratulations. Just to say that was, I think, the highest attendance in women's football this weekend in England, and another high one coming from Ipswich Town in the lower league. And do you think that just shows that whether WSL or not, people are really getting behind their clubs and sort of one club mentality and showing how much they love women's football? And how does it feel to kind of lead that charge from a championship club and fly the flag for the league? Yeah,
it is, like, honestly, I think women's football's been looked at very differently now. And I know Ipswich have got a good they've had a good run. I think a couple of years ago they had a good run in the FA Cup as well. And it was always like, oh, like little Ipswich and stuff like that, but they're not little in the women's game. Although they're, like you said, in a lower league, but we were in that league. And I think we show people what it's about and how you can support your women's team and get after it and climb the table. So I just think it's a big day for women's football in general. I think records keep getting smashed, and that's what we want to see. It's changed a lot since I started the women's game many years ago, but it's just amazing to be part of it and see that firsthand.
Last couple, yourself please.
With every women's game at St James Park, obviously the team continues to transform, the personnel might be slightly different, but the connection with the fans is as strong as it ever was, potentially even stronger. How much is that down to the values that you as captain and also obviously Becky as manager continue to instill every single day and week into the team?
Yeah, big. I think we always lean on the history and the characters that we've had here before, and that togetherness and just realising what it means. So it's like as soon as, like you said, new joiners come in the door or anything like that, it's like, right. And then I think they just get it. And I think it's one of those things where it's like impossible not to jump on board with it and really live it out. Like we've got people that are obviously massive for this club's history out on loan and missing today. Like, for instance, Georgia Gibson, this is probably the only St James Park game she hasn't scored in, but that's because she's not playing. But even this week, she actually wrote a letter. Becky read it out to us yesterday in training about like what the occasion is, what the day is, what it means, and it was like just a proper, like, it just sums Newcastle up. You know, you've got a player out on loan missing today, but a massive part of it still, and like, you know, we know those people, whether they're here or not, are a massive part of like our history, and we also play for them. So I think, yeah, it's just really hard not to get on board with it, and I think we really show it well as a group and do instill that in everyone.
And last one, back, please.
Yeah. What was
Sorry.
That's
What was Becky's message to the team at half time? It was a bit of a cagey affair in the first half, and what tactically was tweaked to help get that result over the line?
I think it was just like we've stuck to what we've worked on all week. Just keep doing it and have that trust and belief it will happen. And like again, it was all right. Stick to what we're doing. Don't get too highs with the highs, lows with the lows. But I think in the first half it was consistent and we just knew it was coming. So I think it was just right, girls. That's a very good performance and. Like I said to the girls in the team talk, I was like, great performance, but that means nothing if we don't push on. So scrap that. We go again, and I think we did that. And yeah, just a good day all round.
And as a derby, it had just about everything for a derby: a red card, a late goal, a massive crowd. How do you sum up all of the emotions from today?
Really difficult to sum up, but just the best day. And yeah, I think it was a good game of football. Like it's a bit harder being involved in it in the middle of the park, but I think it was a good game of football for everyone to watch. And struggling here to sum it up again without censoring any words, but it's just the North East is black and white. That's the way it goes. It's just unreal.